Shokugeki no Soma 176 and 177 reviews, and the reason why I'm going to do this in the same video is because I was not very fond of these last two chapters at all. Like, there's some good moments, but I just didn't think they were that good, specifically because they're predictable. That's pretty much, these chapters were predictable, just like the one before. I mean, the minute you saw Central cheating, you knew what was going to happen. The group, the rebels, were going to find a way to overcome the situations that Central put them in. And that's exactly what happened. You knew what was going to happen. So basically, the way that Central cheats again is that they're making some kind of a dish with noodles, and they have all the rebels go last as far as collecting their foods. And then as the rebels go and collect the foods, they're all out of ingredients, which is basically fucked up. Because, like, okay, you're basically not giving them any ingredients to work with. You're basically not letting them compete. And it's just like, okay, so what are the rebels? What is Soma? What is Megumi? What are Alice and the rest of them going to do when they don't have the ingredients? And so then they try, let's just go to the market. We can still do this. They go out, and there's a blizzard, so they can't go anywhere. So here you think Central has them. So I'm like, oh wow, that's an interesting twist. There's a blizzard. So how are someone gonna figure this out? I still didn't like the way that Central's doing this, but I'm like, okay, that's a little twist. You know what I mean? They're using the blizzard to their advantage, but I still hate that they're cheating. It's just, I've already bitched about it enough, but I know they're gonna figure a way out of this, because that's just not the way to beat the main characters. You don't beat them by doing these kind of tactics. And so for a second, I'm like, I hope it's not like some kind of bullshit thing, the way they figured it out. So, but they go to the next panel, and they are figuring out. They do have their noodles. They get all their ingredients together, and they're sharing amongst each other. And I'm like, okay, wait a minute. How are they doing this? Where did they get their noodles? There's no way they can get their noodles without having to go to the market. I'm thinking, like, what are they doing? You know, I'm like, this has got to be bullshit. How are they pulling this off? And here's where I think these parts of it gets a little clever. In these chapters, the only thing that I think was kind of clever, I only thought two things were good in these chapters, and that was the way they figured out the noodle mess. And they used potatoes, and they go through this flashback of Edina training their ass off of talking about potatoes and things that they can be used for, their starches, all these little details. And they had thought of using potatoes as noodles. So I'm like, that's cool. You know, that's a good way to figure it out. And it pisses off the Central minions, and they're like, oh, how could they be so careless? And I'm like, you guys are so cliche and lame. I'm like, Asami's the only real threat in Central. They're lame, you know. And then it pisses me off, because in the next chapter, 177, which I thought was like cool with Edina, he faces Edina, he blames Edina for giving them hints or any ideas, because without her they are pushovers. I'm like, how are they pushovers if you're not even giving them a chance to cook? You're basically not letting them compete. If they're pushovers, you would let them compete and see for yourself if they really are pushovers. The only pushovers in this arc is Central. They suck. See, here's the thing. If Central's ideas, the whole idea of Central and Azami is that they have a completely different way of thinking when it comes to cooking. They have different ideals to cooking. So if by that standards, if you're just going to have Central suck off the students or Soma and everyone else every time they taste their cooking, it's like, oh, it's amazing. Oh man, this is so great. And then they pass them. What's the point of Central if they're just going to agree with their cooking and say it's amazing if you have a different idea how cooking should be made? Because in my opinion, if you're just going to cheat, then you're already admitting defeat. They're lame villains. Asami's cool, but everyone else in Central's lame. And to me, these past couple of chapters have been so predictable on what's going to happen. They're going to cheat. Oh, they're going to find the way. They're going to realize, oh, these guys are pushers. They're going to cheat again. It was a repeating pattern these past couple of chapters, and I didn't really like that. And anyone who's liked the chapters, yeah, that's fine. There were some good moments. Edina's character, man, she's just like, she owns them. She's like, oh, you think they're pushovers? I'm not the one who gave them the idea of using noodles. I just told them everything there is to know about the potato. They're owning this. These are the last kind of students that you want to go up against and try to push them over like this. We're gonna own your ass. And then they show this awesome drawing. It's so awesome of her in the Joan of Arc. It was just amazing. Like, that was cool. I like the way that they used how Soma, Megumi, and everyone else, the cast, how they used the potato as a replacer for the noodles. I thought that was cool. Editing was great. that's the only thing I liked about these chapters, though, because Central's just so lame. I don't care for them. You know, I really hope that Central does something. Not even just. There needs to be something more to this arc than just cheating and then finding their way out of it. Because if they keep going this route, then it's just gonna be one predictable scenario after another predictable scenario. And even if they do successfully banish the rebels, it doesn't feel like it's a victory for Central. It doesn't at all. It just feels like they're mobsters or mafias, and I'm like, that's lame. I don't like that at all. Like, not for this kind of shonen. It's stupid. I don't like Central at all. These chapters, I'm gonna give them 2 out of 5. Both these chapters. Ugh. Only the potato scene and Eddie was cool, but ugh, didn't like it. Bye.